What's going on, guys? It's Cuda or Kian, and welcome back to the channel. Real quickly, before this video starts, I just wanted to thank you guys for all the love and support you guys showed on the last video that I uploaded. Really pushing me and keeping me going, and I appreciate you guys already. So thank you guys so much, and yeah, let's keep it going. So yeah, today's story time is a pretty interesting one, to be honest with you. It's about the time that I almost got suspended from high school for doing something really stupid. It was one of those situations where it was kind of like if your friend told you to jump off a bridge, would you? And the answer to that question was yes in this situation for me, and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm just kind of sitting here reminiscing about this story, and God, I couldn't have been more dumb in this situation. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So it all started off as a normal day. I was in 10th grade. It was 2019, I believe. I woke up at a time that was way too early for a 16-year-old at this time to be up. So I got up, I showered, got ready for my day, and at this time I did have my license, so I got in my car and drove to school. So my first period class when I got to school was a science class, and at this time, science wasn't particularly hard for me. So it was kind of just one of those classes where I would sit there and stare at the wall or stare at oblivion and not listen to the teacher. And then second period, I would go to gym. And when I got to gym, this is where the story really picks up. So I don't know how you guys did your gym, but for my gym, we had quizzes every week after every unit or something. So say we would play like floor hockey, we would have a quiz on like the rules of the game and like what you're supposed to do basically. But basically they were these 10-question quizzes. They were like true or false. And then after those easy quizzes, we would just shoot like basketballs around and we would play horse. We would play like a bunch of different basketball games and just kind of waste the rest of the period away. So yeah, we didn't even have to get changed into like a gym uniform. We just went down there, sat on the gym floor, took the quiz real quick. So I remember this quiz in particular was about this game that we used to play called Nitro Ball. And basically, if you guys don't know what it is, it's basically soccer, but you can pick up the ball and like throw it into the net instead of like kicking it. I don't know, it was kind of a cool concept, but I remember this quiz in particular was about this game, Nitro Ball. And now we were sitting on the gym floor, we were taking this quiz, right? And let's just call this guy Aaron. And Aaron looks over to me, and Aaron is like, yo, like, I wasn't here for the past couple of days. Do you think you could sauce me the answers? And now me and Aaron were good friends, so I didn't have any problem giving him the answers. So I just kind of like turned my sheet a little bit and readjusted myself so that he could see my paper. And you would think this is the point where we got caught, got sent to the office for cheating on a gym quiz, but no. That's not it. So after he gets done and hands in his quiz, I get up about 30 seconds later and handed my quiz. And then we go pick up a basketball from the rack and we just start shooting around on the other side of the gym. So as I'm walking over to the other side of the gym to play basketball, right? Aaron calls me over and he's like, yo, I just wanted to thank you for, giving me those answers. I wasn't here the past couple of days, so I have no idea what the fucking Nitro Ball is. And then I actually explained to him that it was a pretty fun game and he missed out by not playing it. But yeah, anyway. So me and Aaron get to talking and we're, just shooting around basketballs. And we developed this brilliant idea to do some dude perfect trick shots. Now, our gym teacher at the time kind of really didn't like the fact that people would do trick shots and half court shots and stuff like that. So he would tell us every time that we took a quiz not to do that so we wouldn't like hurt anybody or hit anybody with the ball or anything. But yeah, we just kind of told him to fuck off and went about our business. Now, obviously we didn't tell him to fuck off to his face. We just kind of went about doing trick shots while he wasn't looking so he couldn't catch us. And now, if you're ever in this situation where a teacher is telling you strictly not to do something because something will happen that you won't like, you should probably listen because what I'm about to tell you next is exactly what happens when you don't listen. So Aaron comes over to me and he's like, yo, I have this brilliant idea. And I was like, what? He's like, I'm going to kick the ball into the net. And now I'm thinking in my head, this fucking dumbass is totally going to miss. But I backed him up. I was like, yo, you got that. Like, that's all you. Basically, I was being this kid's hype man. And now I wasn't just a hype man. I took it one step further. I was like, yo, Aaron. I was like, watch this. And then I took the ball and I proceeded to kick it, to which it hit the backboard and bounced off and I caught it. Didn't really work that well, but I showed him that I wasn't afraid to try. So maybe he could too. So he looks at me and he's like, all right, I'm gonna try this shit. And so he drops the ball and drop kicks it way harder than he needed to. And I'm just sitting there watching the ball, waiting for the inevitable to happen. And you want to guess where this ball went? Some might say that it went into the hoop. Some might say it hit somebody. Some might say it went off the backboard and hit me. No, it went over the net and hit a window. And when it hit the window, it didn't just like bounce off the window and make like a big thud. It cracked the window. Yes, you heard me right. It cracked the fucking window. And so my gym teacher whips his head around and was like, what the hell was that? Because obviously when you hear a big crack and a thud in your gym and then you see a ball floating down from the window, I don't think it's that far of a stretch to assume that maybe something happened and he should take care of it. So he walks over to me and Aaron with this really angry look on his face. You could tell he was definitely pissed off. He had an eye on us all year, so he kind of figured that it wasn't an accident and that we did something dumb and then cracked the window because of it. So he was trying to get us in trouble, basically. So he gets up to us and then he looks at the window and he says, "Do you boys know how much money that will cost to fix?" And I was just standing there. I was like, "No, sir, I don't know how much money that will take to fix. I'm assuming a lot of money since you're very angry, sir." And he goes, "Damn right it's a lot of money. What the hell were you guys thinking?" And we both just came clean. We told him, it was a complete accident. We didn't mean to do that. And he didn't care. He was not with the shits that day. He said, "You guys are in some serious shit right now. Get up to the principal's now." And me and Aaron just kind of looked at each other like, well, we're fucked. And so we put our basketballs back on the rack and we walk out of the gym and we walk up to the principal's office. And as we're on the way to the principal's office, we're just kind of making small talk with each other. And by small talk, I mean, what the fuck did we just do? And so we walk into the principal's office and the secretary is like, "Oh, what brings you boys here?" And we told her that we were here to see the principal, that we got in trouble in gym and we needed to talk about it with him. And let's just give my gym teacher a name just so we have something to call him. We're just going to call him Mr. Buff because he was a really big workout dude and he was really jacked. And so Aaron speaks up and he's like, "Yeah, Mr. Buff is probably going to be calling him soon to explain everything." And she was like, "Oh, okay, well, take a seat and I'll let you know when he's ready for you." And so we sat down and we started making small talk again, like, how are we going to get out of this? Like, what are we going to do? They're going to tell our parents. And basically we just came to the conclusion that if we came clean and just told, the principal everything that happened and just were 100% compliant with everything that he had to say, that we could limit our chances of getting in deep trouble. We knew we were fucked either way, but it didn't really matter because as long as we were, honest about it, he might cut us a break. So yeah, fast forward about 5 minutes and the principal comes out and he's like, "Kian, Aaron," and he makes a little signal to kind of follow him into his office. And so we walk in and we sit down and he says, "Do you guys know why you're here today?" And all three of us knew why the fuck we were there, so I don't know why he asked that. And we both spoke up and we were like, "Yeah, we know what we did. We're sorry. Like, we didn't mean to do that." And he just snaps back, "If you guys were 18 years old, I could have you charged with property damage." He just goes on, "What the hell were you guys thinking doing that?" And at this point, he flips her on the computer. And by the way, the gym had security cameras in it, so he flips her on the computer and he's like, "Do you see what I'm seeing?" And we were like, "Yes, sir. We understand." And he goes, "I don't think you guys do understand the scale of this. This is going to cost a lot of money to fix." And we were like, "Yes, we understand, sir. Like, we really didn't mean to. It was a complete accident." And he goes, No, I don't think you guys understand. I think you need to be suspended." And when he said suspended, I was like, oh shit, like, I've never been suspended before. This could be a very bad situation. And then he goes on and he's like, "Boys, you really just need to understand, you cannot be doing stuff like this. I really don't want to suspend you, but if that's what it's going to take to make you understand the scale of this act, then I'm going to do it." And I spoke up at this point and I was like, "Sir, I really don't think suspension is necessary. We understand what we did. We're really sorry. We'll even pay for some of the damages. Just please don't suspend us." And now the type of suspension that he was talking about was out of school suspension. So a lot of schools will have in and out of school suspension, but he was talking about the out of school. So we would be kicked out of school for a week, which, if you can imagine, if you have parents, would not bode well with them. But anyways, fast forward, we talked a little bit more about the situation and we kind of came to the conclusion that suspension really wasn't necessary. He talked to both of our parents and they both mutually agreed that this is an issue that needs to be settled with detention and just a stern talking to, because it was our first problem with school and we really hadn't had a track record or anything of getting in trouble yet. He just decided to not suspend us, give us 3 days of detention each. And then he called our parents and basically filled them in and told them about the whole story and the situation that they had going on in school. And so fast forward the rest of the school day, we basically got told to just go back to our classes and behave for the rest of the day, to which we did. And so when school got let out, I got in my car really not wanting to go home, but I drove home reluctantly. And when I walked in the front door, my mom was sitting there with a very angry look on her face. And she basically told me that I was an idiot for what I did and that I should never do that ever again. And at that point, yeah, I agreed with her. I was a fucking idiot. That was stupid. I just kind of sat there and let it happen. I knew that there was no avoiding it and that I was an idiot and that she had every right to call me that. So yeah, guys, that's basically the story. Moral of the story is, don't be like 10th grader Cuda, and don't kick basketballs at windows. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but yeah, well, whatever. Anyways, if you guys did like today's story time, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you guys want to keep up to date with my content, hit that subscribe button. It's freer than free, and yeah, it costs you no money. I don't know why you wouldn't. But anyways, it's been Cuda, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.